Hello, Gun Nation. How's everyone doing? We'll give it a couple of minutes here. We'll do a quick roll call. We got Big Al said he's going to try to make it. Lynn Holt, Mike High, CZ Shadow 2. Mike High said I'm officially cast on the big screen, which is awesome. Let's see here. We got Milkman, and as more come in, we'll try to catch them. I did want to talk about something also. Hello, Guy Comment. There is Second Chance K9. So secondchanceK9.com. If you want to go in and check it out. And I was trying to put a link, but for some reason it wasn't letting me put a link. I will, you know what? Let me try it this way. I will try it. See if this works. Give me just 1 second. I'm going to try to go on and do this.
You're a doubt.
Okay, let me throw the link in there. You'll see the link right there where I just put it in. Hello, A-Dubs. Dennis Buckner. Denton, how are you? There's a link right there you can go in, and what they do is they pair up special operation vets, like veterans, with ex canines. So, or like adopted canines, things like that. So they team them up, and vets with PTSD and stuff like that. So it's kind of it could potentially save the lives of two vets, so to say. A lot of the canines have been to Afghanistan, Iraq, things like that. So when they're older or if they have an injury, the dogs themselves, they can place them with veterans. And so that's a pretty awesome deal. So if you want to go over and donate to them, they do have a fundraiser event coming up April 24th from 3 to 8. And I will be donating also. Um, and I'm not the guy, I'm just going to let you know this. I donate to stuff all the time. I'm not the guy that has to do a video and post up a piece of paper saying, look, I gave, and blot out my name and all that other stuff. Um, I don't look for, you know, oh, like this video because I gave. And honestly, that's nobody's business of what I do and who I give my money to and things like that. Of course, they're all 2A organizations or they're all giving veterans and things like that. I mean, I even donate hotel points, tons of hotel points to hotels for Justin's Final Mission, where veterans can come and stay at the hotels for free using my points. I don't advertise it, but I'll let you know. I do that every year. I give a ton of points. Matter of fact, I don't even really go on vacations where I stay in those hotels for those points. I donate them all. So just letting you know. But I don't advertise it. This is amongst us on this chat. You'll never hear me talk about it on a video. Won't ever publish a video saying, look what I did. I think that's shitty. Like, it kind of goes back to, people making videos, of giving money to a homeless guy. Why make a video? Just give the money to the homeless guy or just take care of somebody. You don't need to make a video of it so everybody will think you're, you know, the holier than thou guy. So let's see here. Hello, Scott. How are you? Hey, what's up, Channel Cat? Appreciate y'all coming on. But again, if you want to give to secondchanceK9.com, it's right there. There is a link. It'll take you over there. But I read about the organization. Matter of fact, a subscriber and a friend actually told me about this and asked if I would bring it up on the chat. So I am. And I've kind of checked into it and the organization. I think it's a pretty cool thing. So if you want, I don't ever pressure anybody to do anything, but if you can give, give. So if it's something you believe in. Hello, David W. How are you? Got a little Blanton's this evening. What are y'all drinking if you want to tell me? But I've got some questions here that I actually had even from the last um, deal that we kind of didn't get to. And I've had probably one of these, no, actually two of these that are recent from videos. And I thought, that'd be a good question to ask the crew. And y'all are the crew, because I'm a one-man operation. Family members. Your opinions on some of these. So we'll get into in a minute. Anything exciting that y'all are pumped up about, or anything we want to talk about first before we get into the questions? Anything y'all have been seeing or hearing about, or that are on your radar? I was really curious. I know Channel Cat and we text back and forth quite a bit, and he's been kind of texting me some stuff he's getting, and that's cool. David's drinking some Dr. Pepper cream soda. Yeah, man, that's cool. Yeah, you don't have to drink. I drink occasionally. I'm not a big drinker, but yeah, you don't have to drink. You're still in the cool guy club with me. How about that? So, and I don't drink a lot. I just drink a little bit. All right, Terry is saying, thinking about buying my first staccato. Think I'm going to get the P Duo. Hey, that's a great choice, Terry, Jason. What kind of is making you go to a 2011? Just curious, and a staccato. What what's kind of been on your radar about that? Was it due to videos, or did you put your hands on it? Just trying to get an idea. Dirt Track is having Crown Royal Green Apple. I've seen that advertised, but I haven't tried it. I'm not much into the sweet whiskeys. I know they have, what is that other one, that maple one? And man, that stuff's sweet. And I think they have another one too. I can't remember, but I'm not much into a lot of the flavored stuff. I'm kind of an old school guy. But yeah, Jason, let me know. Hey, Kevin, what's up, man? Appreciate you chiming in. David says, I'm still looking forward to PSA 5.7. Supposedly has a great trigger. Okay. Let's see here. CZ Shadow, I'm going to add a gas pedal to my CZ Shadow 2. Cool, man. Yeah, it's funny on the stock TSO, and I've said this even on the older videos, on my stock TSO, it comes with the gas pedal, but I've got mongoloid thumbs, so my thumb was past the gas pedal, so I'd have to crunch it up on the gas pedal, and then it made my left hand try to turn. It was really weird. So I actually took my factory gas pedal off, and then had the CZ custom one that I had Fire for Effect designed for me, and we measured my thumb and they kind of drilled it out and then put a big ass gas pedal, and you can reverse it. So it's super aggressive on this side, less aggressive on the other side. But of course I wanted the super aggressive, but anyway, so yeah, I like gas pedals. They're cool. Alpha Foxtrot's AF 1911 S15 dropping tomorrow. Yep, I have heard about that. Also, just so you know, Alpha Foxtrot, and I'll go ahead and say it here. Supposedly they're going to be making someone's 2011. I won't say who the company is, but supposedly they are going to be making a 2011 for a company, a well-known company. Channel Cat, hey guys, Big J is ribbing me over my new wheel gun. No, I don't. Dude, I'm just busting your balls. That's what we do. That's what friends do, man. Friends got to rib each other's friends as friends. It's all good, man. Hell, you ribbed me about my SRO, you jackwagon. Let's see here. Hello, Reloading. How are you, brother? All right, here we go. Jason is saying, never had a 1911/2011. Have been wanting one for a while, and seen that you seem to like them. Yes, I actually really like them. I've been a 1911 fan forever. I've preached it on the channel. I was shooting 1911s. That was my first pistol I ever shot. Was my grandfather's Colt 1911 45 back in the day. I think I was, I don't know, 7 or 8 or something like that. Hell, I don't know. I mean, I was always a big kid for my age, tall and stuff. So, but I really do like 1911, 2011s. I mean, and that's the thing, a lot of people really like call me a trigger snob and stuff, because like on polymer guns, and I'm not knocking any polymer guns because you can only get them so good. But like on SIG, they got the squishiness. On Glocks, they got they're just got that squishiness and a lot of creep. And yeah, you can put an aftermarket trigger in it and make it better, but you can't make it like a 1911 or a 2011. It's almost impossible on a polymer gun. I'm not saying it can't be done. I just haven't felt one. So when you feel that single action trigger on a good 1911/2011, it's really hard to beat that. And that is one of the questions I'm going to be asking you all here in a minute. I'm not knocking any guns. I'm not trying to take away your birthday, so don't freak out. Let's see here. Reloading from the hot pot, I put a Cajun Gunwork mount optic plate with a gas pedal. Yeah, I really like mine. I hear Big J. I'm going to modify a Cajun Gunworks TSO optic mount. I took the hacksaw to it. Yeah, the mine is a CZ custom optic, and even to get it to fit perfectly the way that I wanted it, they had to mill the inside out of it out. So you can't just take a stock one and throw it right on a gun without doing some kind of modifications. Or that's what we experienced with the way that I wanted it set up. And then of course milled it, and drilled it for the gas pedal I wanted on it. Anyone know where I can get a Damascus 1911 that isn't 10K? I want to add super cool piece to my collection. Man, the only cool Damascus I've seen is like Cabot Guns. There's another, Jesse James, of course, does Damascus, but you're going to blow over that 10K. There was another company, Forged, I think it's called Forged, and they did a Damascus, and I don't think it was 10K, but it was pretty damn expensive. I think it's called Forged, so you could check with them. I've seen it before. Denton is saying, what high-end 1911 ACP do you like? I've got an old STI that I've retroed, modernized it, and I really love it. It's a single stack 5.0 tactical, so it's got the rail and everything in 45. So I would say Staccato Nighthawks are nice. There are some SIGs that aren't bad. Even on my SIG, I bought it and then I got with EGW. I bought these parts, but I got with EGW. I got all the non-memmed parts. A non-mem sear, pins, everything in the gun I changed and put non-memmed parts. And I know mem is okay. A lot of it works, but on 1911s, I have seen it fail in the past. So that is why I choose, you might not, but I choose to put EGW parts in it personally. Need a reputable company that makes custom G10 grips. I need a set made for my Rock Island 2011. The stock ones are just too slick feeling. Yeah, I hear you there. You might check with Lock Grips. I don't know if they make any for Rock Island, but they might. But you could also email them and just see. I don't know if I've seen any that are specific Rock Island, but again, maybe some of the 1911 styles fit, and if so, they have those. But I don't know about specific Rock Island, so I don't want to speak out of turn there. And if they have them, you can use my code and save you some money. Yeah. I like them all. Love the Korth, but American Standard has one as well. Yeah, I think that maybe that's who I was talking about, American Standard. I thought it was Forged, but I think it is American Standard maybe. Yeah, Korth are super nice. David is saying, I have a SIG 1911 at 10 millimeter and a Staccato C2 2011 and 9 millimeter. I don't own a 45 ACP. I think I need to get one. Otherwise, I feel weird in the 1911 club. No, you don't have to have a 45. I'm not one of those guys that say, if you're a 45 or a 1911 elitist, you must own a 45. I enjoy 45. I've shot them for a long time. They're not for everybody. But it's God's caliber. Just joking, but and the reason to have a 45 is they don't make a 46. It is what it is. But I just think there's something about 230 grains of hate, coming at you, or coming at the bad guy, I guess I should say. I've just always liked 45. So yes, the Alchemies 1911s are beautiful and shoot great. Cabot makes incredible 1911s, but haven't shot the Cabot. I've shot one Cabot. It wasn't like the $20,000 Cabot. It was like what was it? It was kind of an American Cabot. It wasn't anything special with like the mammoth grips and all that other stuff, but I want to say it was about 8 grand, and it was very nice. I mean, Cabots are very nice. Jason is saying I had primary machine mill my CZ Shadow 2. They got the SRO pretty low. Love it. Yeah. Yeah, they get it pretty low. They can't get it as low as Fire for Effect because they have a patent on that. So Fire for Effect does get it the lowest, but primary machine gets it pretty damn low. Yeah, Cabot does Damascus. I think I said that, but they're not cheap. Yeah, Jesse James are nice, but they're super expensive. Hello, Will and Wildarm. How are you? Yeah, yeah, just not Sig. Yeah, and I mean, like I said, mem parts work. It's you can have some um, inferior mem parts. I haven't reached out a lot, or I haven't had a lot of failures on mem parts, but I have had two in the past, and it was a while ago. So stuff's probably changed. Yeah. Okay, Scott. Yeah. If Lock doesn't make them and VZ, in order to make a mold and everything for them, they have to have a large demand for them. So there might not be a large enough demand. And I'm in manufacturing, so I do understand that. I'll get people say, why don't you make this? And why don't you make that? It's because, hey, bud, you and two other people want it, not the masses. Kind of like some holster companies don't make left-handed holsters because there's just not a huge enough demand. And I understand, left-handed people want to shoot too, but sometimes they don't. Let's see here. Staccato is offering two different type grips. If you do the P configuration, do you like the new style grip or the older like stipple grip? Jason, I am all about aggressive tree bark. If you have the option to get the tree bark, I would recommend that. I mean, if you like aggressive. Um, I mean, I want it. I call them DNA takers. That's the term I use. If it's going to take skin, that's what I want. I want them super aggressive. Now, you personally might not like that. Some people complain, oh, if I have to carry it against my skin, I carry the most aggressive grips I can get on my locks, and I don't wear undershirts, and I carry appendix, and it doesn't bother me because I've said if you have a great gun belt and you have a great holster, you shouldn't have a bunch of movement and a bunch of play. So your gun should stay there and not chafe you and rub you all over the place. I have not shot a Firehawk in 45. I have not. So let's see here. What's up, Havoc? How are you, man? God's caliber is 460 rolling, like 1,200 foot pound, or yeah, feet per inch in a handgun and work in retrofit 1911. Yeah, the OG caliber, two World Wars, was a 45. Yeah, I'm very familiar with Patriots Defense. They are in Texas. Stock 3 for an SRO, solo, playing card won't fit into the front. Yep, very familiar with those guys. They were actually lady and husband. Yep, there is, but there's not an offering for a forged part or a billet part in a lot of the CZs. On 1911s, 2011s, there are. What's up, Keith? How are you? All right. So, and this was one of the questions, and I'll show you. I didn't make this up, but I want everyone to be as honest or be honest. Okay. Who has never shot a good or a quality, and or who has never shot a 1911 or 2011? You can say never shot, or if you have, you don't even have to answer. But I'm just curious. Be honest. I mean, there's no hate here. Because I have buddies who have like Glock, 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 and I'm like, have you ever shot a 1911 or a 2011 trigger? And they're like, no, but they're like, Glock is the best, or Sig is the best, or this is the best. But that's what I'm trying to say. They only have a small sample. They don't have a big sample of all different kinds of guns. Single action, double action, striker fire, single action only. So they're just comparing with what they know. But okay, here we go. Jason is saying he has not, and I appreciate the honesty, Jason. So Jason has not shot one. Um, okay. All right, Keith Gregory, me never just a SIG P38. I'm talking about a 1911 with a straight back single action trigger. Okay, MZ's only shot a friends a few times. Yeah, Lynn Holt says 1911, no 2011. Yeah, but I mean, if you shot a 1911, it's the same trigger as a 2011. A lot of those actually retro over. The trigger itself will. You only need a bigger bow for the different magazine because the magazine's wider. So if you've shot a 1911, you've pretty much shot a 2011. But I get a lot of people that come on to that like maybe come onto videos and stuff like that, and they're like, "Oh, that trigger is nothing special," or that 2011 1911 trigger is nothing special. My Glock trigger is just as good, and they'll make that statement, and I'll simply ask, "Have you ever shot a 1911 or a 2011?" And I'll actually say, "Be honest." I'll type that on there. And a few just won't even reply back at all. And then a few will go, "No, I never have." And I'm like, "Just try one." I mean, I'm not saying your gun is bad. I'm like, just try one so that way you can be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I see the single action why you would want it, or maybe that particular person doesn't want it." Uh, Keith Kent saying, "I cut my teeth on 1911s. Now my dentures on 2011s." Yeah, that's cool. Two Wheeling Nut, I have not shot a 2011, but I have shot a few 1911s, and yes, trigger doesn't compare to striker fire. 1911, no. My 2011 is a SPS Pantera. Does that count? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 1911, 2011s, they're the same trigger, just different bows. I want a 1911 or a 2011 and 7.62 talk. Okay, yeah, no lie. Shot and owned both. Polymer guns cannot compare to the trigger of a 1911 and 2011. And where I was going with this is a lot of people, yeah, hands down, 1911, 2011 have the best trigger. CZ Shadow 2 is my second favorite trigger. And like I said in my video, I've got the TSO, which is a single action trigger, but it's a hinged trigger, so it swings. So, and it's a great trigger. I mean, hell, it's only like, I think mine on the gauge, it's like 1.1 pound, 9 ounces, and that's stock, but I've shot it a lot. So it's really broken in. So 1 pound, 9 ounces, great trigger, but it's still a hinge. So, the 1911, 2011s are a straight pull. So people who have shot a lot of 1911s or 2011s, and then they grab a lot of polymer type guns, even with good triggers, it's just like, you kind of, if you're used to shooting 1911, 2011 single actions, you always compare or try to get to a 1911, 2011 trigger. That's what everybody tries to strive for, so to say, just because they're such great triggers and they feel so damn good in your hand. How does the Shadow 2 trigger compare to a 2011? Jason, it's really a double action, single action, unless you get the Shadow 2 single action. But again, that one is similar to the TSO. It's still a hinged trigger, so it's not a straight back trigger. The Shadow 2, you can do a lot of work on it. I mean, my Shadow 2, and I've got a video on it. My Shadow 2 with the Apex kit in it, it is pulling. It's like 3 pounds, 2 ounces in single action. And then double action, and it actually has a wall so you can stage it. And then my other Shadow 2 is a rolling break, so it rolls right through it. But each one of them are about 3 pounds, 2 ounces in single action, and they're about 4 pounds, 9 ounces to 5 pounds, 2 ounces in double action. So they're both great triggers. I mean, the best trigger for me is a 1911, 2011 trigger. That's the one I like the best. And hell, even revolvers, you can get you can do a kit on those, especially a single action revolver trigger. You can make those suckers like 1.5 pounds. And you can tune. The cool thing about a 1911, 2011, even if it comes with a 4 pound trigger, you can actually tune it. You've got tuning forks in there, so you can tune that trigger as long as it's not going to fall off the sear. You can tune that thing to make it like a 2 pound trigger, 1.5 pound trigger. My Masterpiece Arms is about a 2 pound trigger, so it's very light. Yeah, and bald, I mean, it doesn't compare to a good 1911, 2011, but the Grand Power does have a nice trigger for double action, single action. High Point has the best trigger. Yeah. I have a few revolvers that the single action breaks at 2 pounds. Yep, that's what I was just saying. And yeah, they are hinged. Yep. I mean, you can get some really nice revolver triggers. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I've been so busy. I hadn't had a chance to watch a ton of videos, but Will Arm just did a video on the Shadow 2 SAO versus the Bull Armory SAS. So you're comparing both single action, but one is hinged and one is a straight back pull. Just like I did, I put that video out where the TSO versus the Staccato P. Same scenario. My TSO has a 1 pound trigger and my Shadow 2 is single action and it has a 1.5 pound trigger. Cool. Like I said, you can really get them light. So, and light triggers are awesome. Matter of fact, I've let people shoot my TSO that aren't used to single action. And I mean, they'll get behind it, pull the trigger like, holy shit. They've even double tapped it. Matter of fact, way back when I let KS, all know KS, I let him shoot my TSO and he was like, and I told him, I said, it's a light trigger. And he got behind it. He was like, holy crap. It kind of shocked him too a little bit. But, you know, I just, I'm not a trigger snob. I can just appreciate a really nice trigger. Guess that's what I'm trying to say. And I don't mind even a 3 or 4 pound trigger single action, but, and I don't even mind a 3.5, 4 pound striker fire at all. But when you get into like 6 pound striker fires, like 9 pound double actions, and I've shot them all. Y'all forget I'm an old dude. Back when they used to have to be, heavier triggers and all that other crap. Been there and done that. Got a hat and a t-shirt. So, hello, Vanessa Kitty. How are you? Long time no see. Hope you're well. Big J, you always bring the best out of any pistol. Great marksmanship. Hey, I appreciate it, Kent. Sometimes I wonder, and this is something, I've always been honest about. I don't advertise it, but I've talked about it. When I was younger, I was actually a better shot. As I've gotten older, I have gotten a slight trimmer. I notice it more so if I just hold the gun out and shoot. I'll get a little bit of a handshake. It's genetic. My dad has it really bad. So it just happens. It's not Alzheimer's or any of that. It's just a tremor. So I've noticed that creeping up. So when people say, you don't shoot holes in holes. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not a bullseye shooter. I'm kind of a tactical type shooter. I'm not trying to put 10 holes between your eyes. I'm trying to make you like a strainer. I've said that many times. I want you bleeding from everywhere. But, it, like when I see the dot, I can, I'm looking at the target of the dot. I might be all around it, but that's part of the shake. So I can't help it. That's just me. Like it or not, I'm always honest with you. Let's see here. Whoops, where is it? Right here. And I'll get to that one. I want to change out my staccato trigger to an Atlas trigger. Heard mixed reviews and reliability. I would have a gunsmith do it. Yes, in both of my staccatos, the C2 and the P, I do have the Atlas trigger. I actually prefer a flat trigger, and I use the medium flat because my fingers are longer. And yes, I've changed mine, and I did them instantly. Nothing wrong with the staccato trigger. I just don't prefer a curved trigger because it moves my finger farther back. I've said that in videos. But yes, I changed both of mine. I recommend it if you prefer flat triggers. Nothing wrong with the staccato trigger. I would rather have an aluminum trigger than a polymer trigger, but to each their own. Nothing wrong with the factory one. Alex said someone mentioned CZs, so I'm here. Yes, I love CZs. I mean, I have tons of them. Nothing wrong with them. Is ammo getting cheaper in Texas? Saw your gas is better than Pennsylvania. Actually, the ammo is not getting cheaper in Texas. I'm starting to see it creep up more and more. Academy was kind of my go-to just to grab some. And it used to be, for good quality ammo, it's about 16, 17 bucks a box, even after kind of this pandemic thing. Now it's like 22 bucks a box. I mean, and I'm talking brass. It's definitely, creeping up there. We don't have any of those crazy prices like we used to. Hell, I used to buy it for, back in the day, I could get it for like 10.99 for brass, but not so much anymore. I haven't seen any of that. So, let's see here. The best striker fire I have shot is my M&P 2.0 with the Apex and factory springs. Breaks at 2.25 pounds. Still non 1911. Yes, and all of my polymer guns, such as my M&Ps, my FNs, um, even my Glocks, they all have Apex triggers in them. So, I do like Apex triggers a lot. I mean, I've worked with those guys in the past. They've even offered to send me some newer things, but um, like their CZ trigger for their P10 is actually a very nice trigger. You can get the rolling break or the wall, whichever you prefer. But the CZ P10, the P10F in mine, because I've shot them so damn much, the triggers are actually pretty damn good. So I just haven't changed them. And I don't want to, I don't want to put a trigger in there and just go, oh my God, everybody, it's so much better, because it's probably going to be a little bit better, but I don't think it's going to be earth shattering. So, okay. Alex found some at Wally for 21 bucks. The auto match. That's hell nowadays. That's not bad. Hello, IBG. How are you? Hello, Brian. Yeah, Brian, and I've heard this a lot. Check your subscriptions and make sure it says, I guess you can, check the different alerts. Just make sure you're, tagged for every video. I've heard a lot of people saying they were unsubscribed for me and they are not getting notifications. I think Big Al even said he's not getting any notifications from my channel anymore, and that's a YouTube thing. They hate us. Um, I've even had people say, "Hey, I was unsubscribed for you. I didn't even know you had all these videos out, and I didn't unsubscribe from you." So apparently YouTube's pulling its crap. So if y'all want, just make sure you're subscribed and set up for all notifications. Hello, Clyde. How are you, man? Good to see you, sir. Keith, that's the thing. In a lot of striker fire, because of the cost of the gun, um, it's just kind of accepted that a lot of those are MIM. And I'm kind of the old school guy. Most people aren't going to buy a SIG 1911 and change every damn part in it from EGW to all of the non-MIM parts. Most people aren't going to do that. And like I said, on a modern one, a newer one, I haven't had personally any MIM parts fail. On some older ones, I did. So that's the only reason I just do that. It's just a personal thing. You don't have to. Okay. Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, a dead goldfish is, a bad situation. You know, it's kind of the thing of life. So I would probably explain it that way. Uh, yes, all of my Apex triggers I have put in. Oh, I take that back. One of my Smith and Wessons, I did not do it just because I didn't have time. And then on my FNs, I did not put my FNs in. I even talked about that in the video. I tried 3 snap-on punches for my FNS or I had tried it on my FNS first, and then I was going to put it in my FN 509. I actually broke and bent 3 snap-on punches trying to get that damn pin out of there. So I ended up taking it to a buddy of mine who's a gunsmith, and he did it with like some small little stubby. I didn't want to grind down any of my snap-on punches, but he did it with a stubby stout one that he had, and was able to finally punch it out. So on the FNs, they are a beast. Matter of fact, they even make a plate now. It's like a kind of a frame thing where you can put it in it, your FN, and it helps you kind of knock it out. But it was rough on the FN. But like my 2245, it's got the Apex trigger in it, and that thing is awesome for a 22 pistol. I highly recommend that trigger, and I did that one myself. I just followed their little tutorial video. It was actually very easy. Brian is asking, Big J, what do you know about the 6.5 Grendel round? Appears on paper to be better than the AR-15 cartridge. Honestly, I mean, Brian, I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't have any personal experience with it. I've heard a lot of people talk about it. I just personally don't have any experience with it, so I don't want to talk out of turn. I'm real excited about the new 6.8. I think that's going to be pretty awesome too. It's kind of like a 308, but flatter, farther, all this other stuff supposedly, and it's going to be better suppressed. But yeah, I don't want to speak out of turn on that. I mean, I've shot 6.5 Creedmoor, but not Grendel. Yes, the P10 is striker fired. Yep, P10F, P10C, all that good stuff. Yeah, I mean, I love the P10s. Matter of fact, and y'all will be the first to say it. If I had to pick a striker fire gun, if I had to right now, and I own them, it would be the P10F and the P10C. Those are my favorite striker fired guns. I've got Glock, I've got FN, I've got shit. Y'all know, y'all have seen them. I got tons of striker fire. But the CZ, it just shoots the most accurate for me. I've dotted all mine. I just really like them. And some people complained about the aggressiveness of the grip when it first came out, and two of mine are first gens, and then the P10F is the newest one, and it is a little less aggressive. So I'm glad I've got the older P10Cs because I prefer the most aggressiveness. Yeah, I'm sure they do. Now that is the thing about Staccato. There's no MIM parts on it, so everything's made here in Texas. So they used to, back when it was STI, they used to send the frames out to the Philippines and things like that. Everything on a Staccato is made in Texas, and it's all four are all done here. So no MIM parts. Clyde is asking 10.5 and 300 blackout, a decent length. Any experience with that? Yes, I own a 10.5 300 blackout, and I have a 12.5 300 blackout. And I have shot the shorter 300 blackouts. I've shot a 5.5 inch. I shot a 7.5 inch. Those were buddies of mine. And here's the thing with me, I've got gorilla arms. So, I mean, a 5 inch is like this, a 7 inch is like this, 10.5 is like this, and a 12.5 is better for me. Also, if you look at true ballistics, and everybody will say, and I know this, you can shoot 300 blackout out of any size barrel, and that is true. Okay. However, if you look at true velocity, the longer the barrel, the better the velocity. I think 16 inch and 300 blackout is I think you're actually losing velocity by the time it comes out, but 10.5 is perfect and 12.5 is perfect. If you look at the charts, I'm talking on 110, 124 or what is it? Yeah, 125 grain. And that's another thing about the 300 blackout. And I love shooting subs out of it because it's super quiet with my can. And a lot of people will tell you they only shoot subs out of their 300 blackout. I'm going to be the guy that tells you I love supersonic in my 300 blackout. I don't mind a little bit of noise. The suppressor does make it quieter, but not super quiet. But it's a very versatile caliber. I mean, you've got a lot of choices there. Striker Fire, his choice. CZ Shadow 2 is the MR920. Yeah, I mean, that's a great gun. Yep. And one of my questions here was, okay, if you had your choice of a defensive PDW slash rifle, whatever, okay, for self defense, not target practice, self defense. If you had to pick a caliber, would it be 223 5.56, 7.62 by 39, or 300 blackout for a PDW slash rifle? You know, it can be a pistol, you know, like a shorter pistol. But would you want 5.56, 223, 7.62 by 39, or 300 blackout? That was the other question I had. Yeah, and also on a 300 blackout, a lot of people, and if you're going to go really short, you really do need a 1 in 5 twist. You really, really do. I've seen people go really, really short, and they get a 1 7 twist, and that's really not that great. For a shorter barrel, you really need a 1.5. I mean, Q, a bunch of people will tell you the same shit. All right, self-defense. We've got he's saying 7.62 by 39, 300 blackout, 300 blackout, 300 blackout, 300 blackout, 300 blackout. Okay. Well, so we're in the 30 cal. Looks like everybody's choosing 30 cal. Whether it be 7.62 by 39 or 300 blackout, they're both great rounds. The only reason I was asking that question is me personally, I definitely want either a 7.62 by 39 or a 300 blackout. And the only reason I choose 300 blackout is because of the different grain variations you can shoot. 7.62 by 39 only comes like in 3 grains. That's all I've ever seen it. But 300 blackout, you know, you can get 110. I've even seen 90 grain all the way up to 230 grain. So I mean, you've got 90, 110, 125, 150, which I hate 150. I don't know if anybody shoots it in a 300 blackout, but it's like I call it the bitch of that caliber because it shoots, but it's not accurate at all from even really accurate barrels. It's just kind of a weird, it's kind of the weird. It's not super fast. It's not super slow. It's kind of in the middle, so it can vary. You can get a lot of variation with it. That with my experiences of my 300 blackouts, and then after that, you're pretty much going to go subsonic either way. But that's what I prefer. And there's not a right or a wrong. 7.62 by 39 used to be much cheaper because you could find the Russian ammo. However, we all know what's happening with that. So I think because of that, 300 blackout is going to become more popular. And of course, it's expensive, but I have already seen 7.62 by 39 in stores the same price as 300 blackout. I mean, and that's crazy. And I'm talking Russian ammo still being available, and they've marked it up to 300 blackout prices, and I'm just like, what? Now, I'm talking brass 7.62 by 39 for brass 300 blackout. So, let's see here. Big J, speaking of 300 blackout, any thoughts on the SIG MCX? SIG MCX is it's a great rifle. I've shot it. I've never personally owned one, but I have shot it. It was not the little short one. It was kind of the medium one. And I liked it. The only thing about it, it's kind of heavy for what it is, which I'm not really complaining about it. Also, it does, I think if I remember right, doesn't it take proprietary mags? Again, it wasn't my gun. It was my buddy's gun, and I don't remember the mags. I think it has to take MCX mags, but I could be wrong. And of course they're super expensive, which, like I said, they're great guns, but they were pretty heavy, and I just thought, well, it shot great, never had a problem with it. But man, especially now after this cough episode, the prices on those things went sky high. I remember my gun shop, I used to see them in gun shops just kind of sitting there, and they were reasonable prices. Excuse me. Now everybody wants them, so the prices are sky high. Yep, that's what I was saying. You can get what you want. You can pick your poison. Yep, my guy. They are super expensive. All right, so I guess we all agreed on 7.62 by 39 or 300 blackout, and nothing against 5.56 or 2.23. And like I've said, if I was going to have to use a 5.56 or a 2.23 for self-defense or even hog hunting, it would have to be a 68 grain or at least a 77 grain. Now, for target practice, and I've got 2.23, 5.56 guns and rifles. 55 grain is fine as long as you have the correct twist for that particular rifle. And what's funny, if you look at some of the twist charts, it'll say like, oh, in a 16-inch barrel, 1 in 7, or 1 in 9 is not good, or not 1 in 9. 1 in 7 is not good for 55 grain. You need a 1 in 9. You'll see some stuff like that. I've shot some 55 grain in 1 in 7 twist 16-inch barrels, and it's been like, MOA. So it really varies with the type of barrel you buy, the quality of the 55 grain. And hell, I've shot some shit 55 grain too, steel case. So if you've got a really good barrel and it's decent ammo, and you don't have to have, half MOA on a lot of those guns, because that's not what they're really designed for. Some of them, if you're wanting accuracy, then yes, you're going to go with a better grain. Or in that realm, I would even go with the 223, so you could get a specific exact grain. Or reloading. I know a lot of reloading guys that do that. But and then I was gonna okay. Somebody said, hey, you need to do an EDC video, and if y'all want to see an EDC video, I'll do one. If y'all want to see it, let me know, yes or no. Leave comments if you want to see the full-blown EDC video of what I carry every day. I'll do it. But because I haven't done one for 2022 yet. But like on a lot of these EDC videos that people put out, they'll say EDC, this is my EDC. And you'll see, the gun, the pistol, the pistol, the holster, the belt, 6 backup mags, tourniquet on their person, radio on their person, cell phone on their person, keys, pocket knife, pocket flashlight, light on their gun. They're putting this shit on the table for 45 minutes of all this shit that they carry. And they're saying they carry it on their person. I don't believe it. I don't buy it. I call bullshit on a lot of that stuff. Now, I carry certain things on my person, but a lot of it I carry in the truck, or of course in go bags. I've got different stuff set up for that. But, they'll have like a pocket knife and then a straight blade and, all this other crap. Some of that is just, they're doing it for video, and I guess, whatever. And maybe some people carry that, but I personally know, and I'm not going to call out his name. I personally know a guy that did one of these videos. He did it last year. And I know this for a fact. The guy doesn't even carry a gun, but maybe on the weekends. So if you're not carrying a gun, why are you carrying the rest of that shit on your person? So I know him, and he made that video. I didn't call him out on video because it's, but I did text him and be like, dude, really? And he's like, well, if I was going to carry every single day, that's what I would carry. I'm like, but you're saying that you carry it every day. You said it in the video. So anyway, that bugs the shit out of me when people do that. Let's see here. Big J, what do you think is coming for gun laws? Well, they're going to try to throw their kitchen sink at us. We all know that. They already snuck some more crap, the red flag laws in that protect women law that people voted on at 3:00 in the morning. Didn't even read the damn bill because it was 9 billion pages. So they're going to do some more of that crap. It's not going away. I think they're trying to push for the registry. We all know that. That's not going away. This is a never ending cycle, and God bless them I mean, trust me, I try to watch some of them or at least listen to some of them when I'm driving down the road. But you see Guns and Gadget. I like Jared; he's a good guy. GOA and all these other things. They're pumping out all these videos, and it's every video that comes out, it's doom and gloom, and they're taking this from us and they're taking that from us. I have emailed my senators and called and done everything I need to do, and I do it it's almost like I'm doing it every 2 weeks. I mean, I think they know my name and my telephone number by heart, and my email address by heart, because it's not hard. It's the name of my YouTube channel is my email address. So I'm sure they get tired of hearing from me. I'm still going to give it to them, and still send the emails and still call and still do everything I'm supposed to do. But it's like, when does this shit stop? How can we make it stop? We can't. I mean, we've got the wrong people in charge right now. So it's going to continue to come after us. They're going after parts, they're going after P80s, they're going after, pistol stocks or pistol braces, they're going after everything. But and I'm going to say this, you as an individual, you got to say, I'm done. You ain't taking shit from me. So you can throw out whatever bullshit law you think you're going to put out, but it's up to me to abide by it or not. So I'll let you have your guess of where I am with that now. So I think you can probably already tell. But this is where you either have to step up and say, enough's enough. So whatever you pass, I don't give two shits. Or you got to say, okay, I give up and I'll just fold like a fucking lawn chair. Excuse my language, but whatever. Hello, V-Borg. How are you, man? Let's see here. Any thoughts on if Biden is in jeopardy of having the 25th Amendment invoked on his sorry ass? Matt Gaetz, I don't know if you watched it or know about it, but Matt Gaetz tried to, or did, enter a hard drive of Hunter's laptop into evidence. There's some shady shit on there. He's done some shady shit. We all know it. You can't be in, where he's been for 50 freaking years, and all the crap that's been dug up about him and his family and his brother and his son and all this other shit, and not know there's some shady shit there. However, we know the powers to be who run the puppet. I mean, I think they can try and try and try, but I'll believe it when I see it. That's where I am right now. All this, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. You can talk and talk, and like I've always said, talk is cheap. Um, action is the real deal. So when it happens, I'll believe it. Other than that, it's just a bunch of running mouths. So that's where I am. I mean, I would love for them to, but even if they did it, then you've got Cacklehan that would hop right in there. She's a freaking nightmare train wreck too. So who knows? Yeah, that's what Bald's saying too. Yep. They're all the devil. And Pelosi's been in there for 9 million years and making $1 billion a freaking quarter off the damn stock market. If anybody's familiar with insider trading, there you go. Her and her husband but nothing happens. Yeah. I bet you if they really broke it down, it's way more than 10% for the big guy. That 10% has been adding up. And Hunter bought a lot of Parmesan cheese with his percentage. All right, David is saying yes for the EDC video. Okay, I can do that. Yes. And that's the thing. Don't just vote in the midterms. Vote in your city, your personal city elections. Everybody forgets that, or they're like, oh, they're not that important. Yeah, they are. Everybody, or a lot of these things start at your areas. That's where you live. So as far as taxes and all this other shit, fight your local battle also. People always forget about that. And granted, I know a lot of people say, oh, it's all, I'm not going to vote because it's all rigged and all this other stuff. I know we've heard that forever, but damn it, I want to go in there and give my 2 cents. And here's the thing, and this is something I've always done. Okay, I have an LTC, license to carry. So when you're showing your ID to vote, okay, just like you have to show it to TSA, you should show it to have to vote. If you can get on a damn plane, and if you get on a plane without a driver's license or some sort of passport, good luck. I've never seen it happen, and I was in aviation for a long time. So you should always have to show that to vote. However, you can do different documents to vote, even in your own area. And it's really funny, and I do this to prove a point. I always, for my ID to vote, I show my LTC, license to carry. It's got my picture, it's got my information on it. And I do that to prove a point, to say, I carry a gun and I vote. So there you go. I mean, yeah, I can use a driver's license too, but it's kind of funny when I hand it to them. Sometimes I'll look at it and they're like, whoa, okay. It says Texas gun permit. So I think it's pretty funny. Some of them are like, hey, cool, and some of them are like, oh my gosh. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking post work. But, like I said, we, got to do what we got to do. And I even have a friend of mine, and he will not vote. He's never voted in his life, but he'll comment on shit he doesn't like in the government. And I will look him right in his eye. I don't bullshit people. I'll look him right in his eye and I say, you don't vote. You don't have an opinion. You don't have an opinion. You can't give your opinion because you don't vote. And he usually shuts up. And I'm not meaning, I know you still have an opinion because you pay taxes. However, he's voting about an election that he didn't even participate in. So there you go. And what's funny is his wife does vote, but he just doesn't vote. I was thinking the same thing, Bald. If you've heard Fauci, he's already firing up for another variant. So I figured it was about time for that. They're going to try to pull that bullshit. But I'm telling you, I know Texas, Florida, other states are not going to take it. We're done with that shit. That ship has sailed. So, but they'll still do it in New York, some of these big ass cities that have a lot of freaking electoral votes. But that's where people need to stand up and say, no, no, no. Au contraire, mon frere. I'll have a license to moon them. Yep, we could do that. You might get taken out of handcuffs. Now, if you slap them, it's okay. You could slap them, you just can't moon them. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head, Two Wheeler Nut. I work with some who never would vote during the last few years. Now they do now, and all purchased firearms. Go figure. Yep. And matter of fact, this friend of mine, he actually has a firearm now. Never had one before. So he did. What was my other one? Oh, also, if you missed the first part of the chat, I do want to reiterate this. There is, and I put it, you can go back through the chat. It's in there. secondchancecanine.com. So secondchancecanine.com. What it is it's a veteran-owned company. And what they do is they get a vet, an American veteran, okay, and they have a either retired military canine, police canine, and they actually put them together. They've both been retired. The veteran, the human veteran, could have PTSD, so the dog will help him or her. And I've read through the call. I've read their mission statement. I've read through everything. They seem very legit. One of my subscribers reached out to me and a friend. We text back and forth, and he let me be aware of this, and I've checked into them. I'm going to be donating to them. I recommend you do. They also have a fundraiser that's coming up on April 24th, 3 to 8. So you can go on and read all about it. But seems like a very worthy cause. And, in some situations, you might be saving two lives because they were saying that some of the canine dogs are euthanized as they get older, but they're still perfectly capable of working and being around people. So, that's the chance to match them up, and I think that's a really really great cause. So if you can, it is secondchancecanine.com. I know there's some weird stuff going on. Everybody's asking for money and all this stuff. If you choose to, that's cool. But I definitely told him I would mention it. I have read through it, and I'll be donating also. So let's see here. I think I missed some stuff. Yep, Rabbi. He is actually the one that told me about it. So, I wanted to give him a shout out too. But, if you can help, please help. I think we all, you know, that's the thing right now. And I've said this even in videos. Everybody's so happy to help other countries and all that other stuff. And I'm not saying don't help the Ukraine. That's not what I'm about. But I'm saying we don't take care of our own first. So, you know, we got a big backyard in the United States that we can take care of. Trust me, we've got people flooding over that border left and right. And we're going to be pumping out all the money to them, taking care of them forever. But let's take care of people who fought for our country. Anything else? It is 8 o'clock. If there's anything else y'all can think of, please, pop it out. We'll stay on for about 5 more minutes. I did finish the big show that I had this weekend. A lot of people, I was putting out all the car pictures because some people, I've asked if y'all want to see cars, trucks, things like that. If you follow me in the community chat, also, you can go over and check them all out. I saw some really badass trucks, some really badass cars. I did post a ton of pictures over there, and in the community now you can add separate pictures. Some of these posts have 5 pictures in each one of them. What it is it is a accessory hard part show. So, I don't have pictures of what I did because that's, I keep that private. But, it's got some really good looking vehicles in there. So I saw, an old Trans Am that was tricked out, twin turboed. It was a badass car. I would have loved to have had it, but they wanted too much for it. Some tricked out TRX trucks, even some electric vehicles were there. Some really badass accessories. So, and a lot of people ask where it was. It wasn't open to the public. It was open to wholesale distributors. However, it was at the Gaylord in Grapevine, Texas. So, and it was the whole entire convention center. It wasn't just one part. It was the whole freaking building. So it was a huge, huge show. But it's one of my biggest shows I do throughout the year. So it was pretty cool. Yeah, there was a bunch of Wranglers there. There was a bunch of new Broncos there. A ton of God, I can't even think. My brain's so tired. Gladiators were there. Toyota trucks, with the overland packages on them, top to bottom overland. They had it completely set up. Lockers, gearing, transmissions, clutches, exhaust, tons of exhaust. I tried to take as many pictures as I could post up. Some I was posting 3 and 4 times a day. There was dragsters there. It was a really, really good show. So a lot of vehicles. I was like, oh my God, I want that. An OG GT500 was there, sweet as hell. And I'm not even a Mustang guy, but it was sweet. Had the actual Cobra jet in it. But yep, 803. If y'all don't have anything else, we will shut this bad boy down. Don't forget about secondchancecanine.com if you're interested. Helping 2 vets out, the dog and the human. That would be a great thing. Yeah, I see some of these things and I'm like, man, I got to post that up. But the Flintstone vitamin really got me because when I was a kid, I didn't even say this in the comments, but when I was a kid, my cousin and I, we had those Flintstone vitamins my mom bought, and we busted those things open. We thought they were candy, and we ate the whole damn jar. So we didn't know any different. We were dumb kids, but yep, Rabbi, I have seen the beast that you pull. You definitely need a 3/4 ton pickup. But like I said, buying those right now is pretty crazy. But I appreciate y'all as always. If y'all have any questions, comments, or anything after the chat, if you're interested in lock grips and stands, I've got a post pinned so you can grab some of those and use a code to save 10% off. But great chat as always. I was trying to have someone that y'all know on this evening. However, his internet connection where he lives is not very good, so it didn't happen. So hopefully there'll be a time where he can come on. Trying to get him, but y'all all probably know him. If you follow my channel, you probably follow him. But internet was lacking, so it would have been really bad. So all right. Well, I thank you, Clyde. I appreciate it. Like I said, it's just from experience. I'm not anybody special. I'm not a trainer or anything like that. I just share my experiences and be honest as possible. So if it helps, that's what I'm here trying to do. So, and I appreciate y'all for listening to me talk. But y'all have a great night. Be safe. Love one another, and carry on. That's what it's all about. So take care, everyone. And I don't know if y'all noticed, but I changed to the Gun Nation chat. That's probably going to piss off YouTube, but I really don't care. So that's the point where I am right now. I named it the People's Chat because it wasn't gun in the title. They've already demonetized this chat because probably it says Gun Nation in the title, but I really don't care. So y'all have a great night. Be safe out there. Bye, everyone. Thanks, Havoc.